So we're missing our intro video. Hello everyone. Sorry about that. We'll fix that later. It seems like our intro video is missing. I don't have time to play with it. Alrighty then. First things first. The Twitch subscriber number is back online again. Let me get strategy guide for Miles Edgeworth. So, Di, do you remember what happened last time? We did things in the past. We investigated a case that happened 7 years ago. A double murder case. And the suspected theory is they both killed each other. Edgeworth denies that claim and said that there was a third party that killed both of them. That's what we're going to be trying to figure out in part 2. September 10th, 4:45 p.m. District Court lobby, 3rd floor. District Court 3rd floor lobby. Sir, what is to become of the trial into the Kotopayan Embassy staff member's murder? Indeed, since both the suspect and the prosecutor are now dead, the case will be dismissed. In other words, the trial ends here permanently. Ha! Looks like you'll have to wait just a bit longer for your big debut. I suppose it can't be helped. The evidence for this trial will be transferred to you in a little while. Sir, what do you mean about the murder of the Kotopayan Embassy staff member and the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rail? What an outrageous circus it all has become. That Faraday brought it all upon himself with his naivety. Hey, Phoenix. An outrageous circus? Right, sir. I grow weary of this topic, Edgeworth. I will have you assigned to a different case. Papa, you'll come and watch my courtroom debut next, won't you? I'll consider it. He'll consider it? It's his own flesh and blood. His own flesh and blood, and he's going to be considering it. Sir, if I may, please, allow me to continue with my investigation. Whatever for? I know that there is already a suspect in the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rail. However, there is not enough evidence to prove that it was he who committed the crime. I'd like to continue investigating in order to find the perfect proof of his guilt. The perfect proof? Don't make me laugh. A worthless person like you has no right to claim such a thing as perfection. Ouch. That's his student that he's saying that to. Papa? Who do you think is the real culprit behind these murders? Miles and I were competing to see who can find the real killer first. Plus, being able to investigate a real crime scene is a really rare opportunity. It would give us some real-life experience, wouldn't you agree? If you want to investigate this case that much, then do as you wish. Then you're allowing us to continue? In court, your top priority is to win. And a solid investigation is one of the keys to winning. We have to make sure you become recognized as a first-rate prosecutor, don't we? It wouldn't be very interesting otherwise. I'm returning home now. Edgeworth, Francisca, see to it I'm not disturbed, save for the results of your competition. Yes, sir. Of course, Papa. Francisca, thank you. What are you thanking me for? Your logic earlier was built on the scrutiny detective's lie. That means the competition is still on. Yes, just as you wish. I couldn't let you get off so easily. Now then, let's see how well you fare in the investigation for here, Miss Miles Edgeworth. I don't know. I know I don't have enough information yet, so my first order of business will be to question anyone involved with this case. Yes, what is it? It feels like there's a whole backside to this case we're not seeing. And here we had thought that there was a case where the two men had killed each other. We're lacking in information. And as a Von Karma, I can hardly call this perfect investigation. Indeed, it is as you say. I can't believe we agree on something! Just what is so revolting about agreeing? Anyways, our first move should be to speak with everyone related to this case. Isn't that what he just said? Indeed. Even if you had not said it, I was planning to do so anyway. Sure, we can BRB till then. Now I gotta wait for everything to set. There we go. Welcome back, guy. Alright. Okay, time to continue. Ah! What was that lash for? Okay, well, let's go and talk to an angry gumshoe. It wasn't me, I tell you! I didn't do anything wrong! Also forgot to mention Gumshoe is a suspect. Yes, I understand, so let's just calm down, okay, buddy? Don't get anything useful from the detective while he's in this agitated. While he's this agitated. Any day now, I'll be taking a rightful place behind this fence. By that time, I should already be standing here. It'd be downright disgraceful if I beat you to it, wouldn't it? If that were to happen, Franziska, I'll eat my cravat. It's the defense attorney's bench. I'd probably be standing on this side of the courtroom if the incident hadn't happened. What are you thinking about? Lately, the more wrinkly your face becomes, the less I'm able to read what you're thinking. Well, I never! I've had you... I'll have you know, I don't have a single wrinkle on my youthful brow. Okay. Will they let me walk up here? They will let me walk up here. Will they let me walk back here? It's the viewing gallery. This is where the riffraff sit when they come to watch. It's situated at the same height as the judge's bench. I wonder if that's to represent the intense scrutiny of each and every case from all sides. Miles Edgeworth, are you or are you not man enough to stand up to all those eyes? What sort of course I'm man enough. Will they let me up here? Wow, they actually will let me up here. This must be the judge's desk. You can tell by the gavel sitting on top. I had a dream once that I was being squashed from above by this gavel. You're such a weakling, Miles Edgeworth. You have no idea how frightening it was. I have never been back this far to actually explore this entire courtroom. This is the witness stand. I'll make sure that each and every person that ever stands here will be found guilty. There are others besides the defendant that stands behind this podium, you know. I don't care. Just make sure you never end up standing at one of those, or you'll be sorry. I'll keep that in mind. However, he doesn't keep that promise because he ends up being there. Sir, nothing to report, sir. Is there no one who will make this man take responsibility for his action on this job? Looks like we have no choice but to report this to Papa. Then this guard can have fun in a waking nightmare after being awakened from his dream. Actually, let's not. I kind of feel sorry for him now. What's the matter, officer? I've been standing here for forever, sir. I really need to go to the bathroom. Why don't you just make a quick trip? The nearest one isn't that far, is it? No, it's a short way down the hall beyond these doors, but I don't want to be blamed for anything that might happen while I'm gone. So I'm going to hold it. The bladder can hold so much. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe can be a positive influence on the force after all. Wow, this thing is so incredibly detailed. My inner modeling fanboy is impressed. I'm not exactly a fan of plastic models per se, but even I can sense the superb quality of this model. I simply cannot comprehend how that man can feel so much love for such a trifle. Oh? I see. You're a disciple of my father, so you will do well to guard yourself against an interest in such an unproductive thing. Yes, perhaps I should take up whipping people like the young lady over there. I can't stop the water, sir! It seems that the man who was here earlier broke it by drinking from it too much. Bunch of fools who pretend to not see the foolishly foolish actions of a foolish fool. Well then, why don't you lend the officer a hand? As if I should have anything to do with this. Besides, that water-drinking fool's mouth is the only thing that officer should be covering. Let's give that officer a description of the water guzzler later. He seems to have quite the grudge. It sounds to me like someone had a drink. Miss you? Oh, it's you, Edgeworth. Oh, and who are you? Wait, you were at the crime scene just now, weren't you? You should be disbarred for not knowing who I am. I am Franziska von Karma, and I'm about to become the successor to the family name. About to? I guess that means that for now, you're still just another kid. In which case, it's only natural that I didn't know who you are. What? Ah! What are you doing whipping me? Anyways, it looks like you're planning to hold the evidence a bit longer. If there's one thing I can't stand is wait. I'm terribly sorry, but I have a few more questions to ask for you. Look at you, eyebrows scratching with lines on your forehead. And that, to ask for you. Well, what exactly is so funny? Sorry, I'm just bad at dealing with super serious atmosphere. Apparently, they failed to teach you proper behavior at a crime scene in law school. I feel much better now. So what is it you want to talk about? I'd like to inquire as to where you were at the time of the murder. We were in defendant lobby number 1 the whole time, up until we heard the gunshot. And by we, I mean Mr. Bad. If you don't believe me, feel free to ask him yourself. You were with Detective Bad? Why? We had a little something to discuss, that's all. So, I take it that you were acquainted with Detective Bad? Yeah, he was the detective in charge of the KG8 incident. Detective Bad is also related to the incident? That's right. He was the one who was supposed to protect my sister Sissy. You know how that turned out, don't you, Edgeworth? Miles Edgeworth, I have no idea what you two are talking about. I've heard of the KG8 incident from my papa, but how does that case relate to you, Miss Yu? The victim of that case, you was my little sister. You're making that super serious face again. I'm fine, really. I just make it a point to rub some more salt His wounds pride every time I see him. The way she talks about doing that as she laughs away is kind of creepy. Why are we getting so many of these goddamn advertising bots? Holy crap! Oh, speaking of Mr. Bad, he and Mr. Faraday, I'd say they met up just about every single time the Yatagarasu made a move. It was practically a given that the two would meet up at every one of the crime scenes. I see, he did mention that he is in charge of the Yatagarasu investigation earlier. Maybe I should ask her what she knows about the Yatagarasu in more detail. You claim at the time of the murder you were with Detective Bad, but don't you lawyers usually discuss the trial with your clients during a recess? You do, and that's what I was planning to do. But Mr. Faraday was being rather threatening and he dragged Mr. Rail away. After that, Mr. Bad came into lobby number 1, so we just stayed there and talked. What did you talk about with Detective Bad about? Nothing interesting, I just insulted him some. Talked about how the trial was going and then I insulted him some more. Bloody! When she's not laughing, her mouth seemingly spews nothing but insults. Anyways, Mr. Bad and I were in defendant lobby number 1 and the murder occurred. So I really can't tell you anything about the hallway or lobby number 2. I see. I'd like to ask you a few questions about your client, Mr. Mackerel. Now, your client first claimed to be the Yatagarasu, is that correct? Yeah. Once I heard that it was the Yatagarasu that had made off with the evidence from KG8, I began to ask Mr. Rail all sorts of questions, but to no avail. Turns out Mr. Rail was not the Yatagarasu. He had just made that up. He made it up? Mr. Rail's crime was caught on tape by the security camera, but there is no footage of him sneaking into the Dopayan embassy himself. Hold on for just one second. Then you mean to tell me that you knew that he was not the real Yatagarasu and that he was just another cold-blooded killer and you were ready to defend him? Yes, that's right. I see. So a defendant lawyer is actually just someone whose job is to cover up for criminals. Not really. It's just that's the way she does things. That's why defense lawyers are so detestable. But they are no match for us Von Karma. I don't believe it! You're serious! Why don't you save that face for something really worth being serious about? And Edgeworth, do you remember what I said earlier? I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for the lead regarding the KG8 incident, alright? And for that, you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer? Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rail was to be his lawyer. I had no intentions of covering for him ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to. Sorry. Forgive my rash. Miss you. I was wondering if you could tell me about the Yatagarasu? Yatagarasu, huh? I don't really know much about the character myself, but I do get a lot of consultation requests from companies to defend them. Requests from companies? Yatagarasu isn't some petty thief out for money, you know. Alright then, perhaps the Yatagarasu is in the business of stealing people's lives. You're not very funny or witty, are you, little Miss on karma. Grrr! Francisco, be careful about who you with. Choose wisely, or we may be sued by... There. I chose carefully, just like you wanted. That just now was hilarious, little Missy. Of course it was. What is wrong with these two women? Why does my pain give them delight? And so in the end, what is the Yatagarasu? I have to say, I have never even heard of this thief when I was in Germany. The Yatagarasu deals in information, namely in digging out dirt about backroom dealings and the likes of companies. The Yatagarasu is a vigilante who steals such info and then makes it public for all to see. Vigilante or not, this person sounds like just another criminal to me. I suppose you could put it that way too. But either way, I get a lot of more clients now thanks to that thief. Sounds like Miss Yu profiting nicely. I suppose I've gotten all I can out of Miss Yu. I should move on and speak with Detective Gumshoe now. Oh, he seems to have calmed down. Detective Gumshoe? Hey, it's you, pal. You're here. Yow! As am I. I don't think you need to whip him to let him know that. Oh, I didn't do it, pal. I swear on my honor as a detective, I really didn't. Words are useless. I place my trust only in the evidence, detective. Once the investigation is fully over, and should we find out that you are the killer, there will be no mercy to be had for you. I have a heart, pal. But you're not worried, right? After all, you have nothing to worry about. If you really are innocent, that is. That's right! Hey, pal, go and do your perfect investigation. Get the real killer for me, will you? I would have done so, even had you not requested me to, detective. So, you and Mr. Faraday had a small meeting last week, did you? And what exactly did you do to make him so angry? Just asked Detective Bed the same thing myself, pal. Turns out he was mad at me because on my very first day as a detective, I reported in at my usual post instead of the Criminal Affairs Department. By the time I got down to the Criminal Affairs, I was really late. And that's when he gave me that huge speech. I remember doing the same exact thing in elementary school. On the first day of school every year, I'd always wind up going to my old classroom. How pathetic for the detective to be compared to a mere school child. You claimed to be standing guard in front of the door to the lobby number 2 during the recess. However, when did you receive the order to do so and from whom? Earlier at around 3:20 and from Detective Bad, pal. Today's trial took a really crazy turn. So I was told to make sure nothing happened to Mr. Faraday. And yet something did happen to him, correct? Looks like it was a total waste of manpower to assign you to guard duty. Ow! Your words sting worse than your whip, pal. So it was Detective Bad who ordered him to stand guard, huh? Now then, Detective Gumshoe. Is there any else you'd like to tell me? Nope, not a thing, pal. In that case, allow us to take a look at what you're carrying on your person. Ah! Wait! You can't do that! There's nothing of any particular value here. Well, my handcuffs and badge were confiscated by Detective Ben, so you know. And what is that open envelope I see sticking out of your coat pocket? Hands off, pal! That's my check! Just show it to us already! Ow! Annual bonus check within $5 total. Except there is no check in sight. You've had your look. Now give it back, pal. It's my first bonus as a brand new detective. I just got it and cashed it today. I had literally no cash on me up until I did, you know. So that envelope is special to me. Now give it back. You don't need rubbish like this. Don't worry, we'll throw it away for you later. Oh, could you? Annual bonus envelope. Data. Jotted down in my organizer. Sorry, but I need to take him in for questioning now. I think I've asked him just about everything I needed to. No, wait. Since he became a suspect, there is one piece of evidence I should reconfirm. Officer, I ask that you wait a second. I still have one thing I'd like to reconfirm with Detective Gumshoe. Understood. But please make it brief, sir. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. I must confirm whether or not his testimony about when the crime occurred is the truth. You told me earlier that you heard no sound other than the gunshot out in the hallway. Is that correct? No mistake about it, pal. Then you are also claiming that no one passed through the hallway earlier either. Is that also correct? Yep, not a single ant passed through that hall while I was on duty. You do realize that the lie you're telling us is only making life more difficult for yourself? Oh. But it's true. I didn't see anyone go through that hallway, and I didn't hear anyone else, pal. I bet the killer found a way to kill the two guys that's beyond what I can even imagine. So if there's a third person that did any involvement in the murder, it would have to be before Gumshoe was asked to guard the area. That's the only logical thing that would make sense. So he intended to continue telling this ridiculous lie. Is it really a lie? Maybe there is some evidence to prove that it wasn't a lie. But why would he do so, given the situation he's in? Because he's actually telling the truth. I believe a thorough investigation of the hallway in front of the defendant lobbies is in order. Ah, you! No! Yeah. How could you not have noticed that coming? Wasn't that the child I exchanged money for earlier? Thanks. That's exactly what I needed. Kids can sometimes be so cruel. It looks like she dropped something. Swiss roll data jotted down in my organizer. A Swiss roll. Di, do you want a Swiss roll? Maybe we should arrest this girl. She might turn out to be valuable leads. I believe some sort of punishment may need to be dealt with next time we meet. I believe I've asked all that I needed to out of this man. Now for Detective Bad and the judge. We have to confirm who is correct, the judge or this scruff face, right? I suppose we should inspect the hallway in front of lobby number 2 next then. I suppose so. Shall we head on over, Franziska? Let's see if there's anything new here. That scruff face movements during the recess are very suspicious. Oh, I suppose you noticed it too then. Of course I did. Scruffy is giving us a testimony that is nothing but harmful to himself. Normally, criminals who tell the opposite types of lie in an attempt to escape. Yes, that is exactly the same point I'm having trouble understanding. It seems that I need to expose what he was really up to during the recess. And to do that, I should head to the hallway where he was supposed to leave standing guard. September 10th, District Court Hallway. So, did you see anything else? No, I don't think so. Well, thanks for your cooperation. Oh, it's nothing. Just doing my duty as a defender of the law. That'll be all for now. I'll ask again if I have any other questions. Anytime, Detective. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a few loose ends I have to fly out. Oh, you're the new prosecutor Mr. Von Karma recommended, right? Oh, my name's Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. And I'm Manfred Von Karma's daughter, Franziska Von Karma. I'm set to become the successor to my genius father any day now, Your Honor. I see. Mr. New Prosecutor recommended. I bit my tongue! Are you alright, Your Honor? Please feel to refer to me as just Miss Von Karma, Your Honor. As for him, just Edgeworth. Fine. Apparently somebody doesn't feel like I'm worthy of a proper title. Oh, very well then. I shall call you Miss Von Karma and Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth. Your Honor, Mr. Edgeworth is fine, sir. Now, about your earlier testimony. Yes, what about it, Mr. Edgeworth? I would like to ask you a few questions about what exactly you saw. Alright, after all, it's my duty to clarify my testimony as a defender of the law. I greatly appreciate your cooperation, Your Honor. Now, the first thing I will need to do is figure out that detective's exact movement. This is pretty spacious hallway, but it's nothing compared to the ones at home. Indeed, because Mr. Von Karma's house is a bit too spacious. However, even with this amount of space, there's nowhere for the scruff face to hide. Well, other than the crime scene just beyond those doors. Franziska, I believe it's much too early to draw any conclusion. It was already proven that Detective Gumshoe was in this hallway the entire time. Now, all we need to do is gather more information. And to do that, I'll just have to examine everything I see here by myself. Okay. Your Honor, I'd like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. Where were you at the time of the murder? Do you suspect me of something? No, nothing of the sort, Your Honor. Very well. You may continue with your testimony. Your Honor, it's your testimony I'm after. Oh! I had no idea you were chasing after me or my testimony. I'm beginning to sense that I might want to avoid being in a trial run by this judge. Let's see here. Now then, how should I put this? When you get to my age, you need to pay more frequent visits to the bathroom. Which is unbelievable because he can spend hours in the courtroom and not have to worry about that. If you go take a look through the window at the end of this hall, you'll see a small window. That is the window to the men's restroom. In other words, you can see clearly into the hallway from the men's restroom. When I was going into the restroom, the detective gumshoe, is it? Well, he was standing in front of the vending machine buying something from it. However, and this I couldn't believe, when I was about to exit the restroom, there was not a soul in the hallway anymore. Your Honor, if you could please calm down and explain it to me rationally. Oh, I'm really sorry. Please let me regain my composure. It was really suspicious. That's what my finally own judge's intuition said. Although, well, until the murders occurred, I just sort of brushed it off. Apparently this judge doesn't understand the concept of staying calm. That's probably all I'm about to find out from His Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, may I return to my other duties now? Yes, I'm sorry to have held you up. Thank you for your cooperation, Your Honor. Anytime, Mr. Edgeworth, anytime. The judge in this country seems rather friendly. Yes, it is not a little wishy-washy. However, I hear that they are known to hand down very fair verdicts. Detective Bad, I have something I wish to inquire you about. Hey, how about doing some actual work, you? I wish to inquire into Detective Gumshoe's movements during recess. You're getting in the way of the investigation. I have an order from Mr. Von Karma himself, plus I still hold investigation authority. So I hear you were the one who called for Detective Gumshoe to come down here. Faraday, that guy was just accused, you know. I just knew something was going to happen. My detective's instinct told me. A lot of good it did you. You couldn't even protect one lone prosecutor with it. Hold it! Francisca, I think you need to apologize. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry, Detective Bad. Please continue. That is one scary face. But like I said, he's actually more of a teddy bear. I used the phone on the first floor and called the precinct. I told him to send somebody over. And then that detective's the one that showed up. And only upon his arrival did you send Detective Gumshoe to stand guard, Detective Bad? Yeah, I wanted for him on the first floor. After he got here, we came up to these defendant lobbies together. As we entered this hallway, we ran into you. He told us that Faraday was really mad, and that he dragged Rel off to lobby number 2 to have a word or something, and that Faraday had said to not let anyone interrupt them. But what choice did I have? All I could do was tell the big lug to stand guard outside. And around what time did all of that take place? Let's see. I think it was about 30 minutes before I heard the gunshot. After giving the big lug his assignment, he never left the hallway, not once. Oh, and how can you make such a claim? One of the guards out in the floor's main lobby swore to me he didn't. If the defendant never left the hallway, then where did he disappear off to? That's simple. He must have gone into lobby number 2, just as I suspected. You and I, we were in lobby number 1 next door. The only one without an alibi is Gumshoe. It would seem that I am still missing some key pieces of information. Detective Bad, you also heard the gunshot, did you not? Yeah. I heard it when I was in the defendant lobby number 1. That's why I came running towards lobby number 2 together with you. How much time elapsed between you hearing the gunshot and your arrival on the scene? Less than a minute. What were your movements upon hearing the gunshot? I grabbed the big lug who was just walking around in the hall and raced into lobby number 2. And that's when we discovered the body in that order. That makes you the discoverer of the crime scene, right? Yeah, I guess it does, little miss. I am about to become a prosecutor very soon. You will treat me with the dignity I deserve, or else. You wear that little thing around anymore, and I'll have you arrested for obstruction, little miss. You wouldn't dare! Just joking. The first time I've seen Franziska being terrified by a detective. Detective Bad is really something. If he can make Franziska behave. Are we about done? Is there anything else I wish to ask him about? I'd like for you to tell me the exact time you heard the gunshot. It was around the end of the recess and the trial was about to start again, I think. He was supposed to make time for himself to transfer the evidence he was holding, but I got the sense that he wasn't going to show for the handoff. So I figured I should go get him or he'd be late. And just as I thought that, bang! Sound of a gunshot hit my eardrum. So I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to restart. Detective Bad's testimony jotted down in my organizer. Are we done here? I don't have any time to waste. Oh, come on! All you're doing is standing in front of this door doing nothing. I get the sense that he is someone investigating the crime scene, or rather that he is keeping us under surveillance. But to what end? Detective Bad, may I ask that you cooperate with us for just a little longer? I don't have anything else to say to the two of you. You guys were the ones who said you wanted to investigate in the first place. Fine then. Be obstinate. We'll just do as we please. Come on, Miles. You may no longer be willing to help us, however. I ask for the forensic scientist's cooperation. Do as you like. Did you find something, officer? I think there's a $5 bill back there. Come on, there's a little more. Is there no one working this crime scene who isn't a total waste of living tissue? Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a single person we can deem useful here. Have you found any suspicious fingerprints, officer? Nope, just the fingerprints of those involved with this case, sir. I guess we know all of the players in this case, then, huh? It would appear that way, but I have a nagging feeling that we're missing. I suspect that what we're missing is hiding right here in this crime scene somewhere. So, according to the judge, someone looking through the restroom window that you can see from the window at the end of the hall can see into this hall. I wonder exactly how true that statement is, don't you? Well, it is possible to get a pretty clear view of this hallway from the restroom. Is there really a men's bathroom window through the window at the end of the hall? Of course. Can you not see it? Arr! I demand that you show me this view at once. I suppose I should go examine the window once again. Anyway. Okay. Oh, that's not gonna help me. There's a vending machine here. So, here we go, Di. Here we go. We're going to investigate this. Now, we're going to look at the price of all this stuff. It would appear that this vending machine sells snacks and various other foods. Just lovely. What will they think of next? Don't be a jerk in court like these beef jerkies. 1 pack for $9. Defendant's fresh milk. 1/2 pint for $7. Stay neutral as the Swiss. Do until the end with these for $6. They're awfully overpriced. The lineup is simply awful, period. Speaking of snacks, I wonder if the Swiss roll the girl dropped is from this machine. I was wondering about that myself. So we got hot dogs for $7, beef jerkies for $9, which is actually cheaper than what we can get beef jerkies today, because most beef jerkies are more expensive than that. Ham sandwich for $8. Well, ham sandwiches are still not that expensive. Orange juice for $9. Well, a gallon is not quite 9 gallons, but it's about $5 a gallon. Milk, $7. Well, it's not quite $7, but a gallon of milk is about $5 where I live. Swiss rolls, 1 Swiss roll is still not $6 here. 1 Swiss roll is about $1 over here. When you're in hot water, you might need a hot dog. Looks like this slogan was cited to a public contest. And the winner was Prosecutor Winston Payne? What a pathetic slogan. No presents at all. Now, if it was up to me, it would read, if you leave matters in Von Karma's hands, everyone in court will be found guilty, dogs. Well, we're talking about 1 pint, okay? We're talking about 1 pint for $9. 1 pint. And then you're looking at 1 pint of milk for $7. Still not quite that much here in the States. And I can almost guarantee that that's not the price over there in Japan either for 1 pint. A gallon, both of them are about $5 a piece.
Objection!
Overruled. Don't be a jerk in court like these beef jerkies. I see.
Objection!
Miles Edgeworth, wouldn't you agree that it was a very clever pun? Do you really think they put that much effort into the product's name? Even a foolish fool would understand the foolish thinking of the fool who made it up. You're acting so foolishly that I got so thoroughly mad and am now utterly famished. If you want a pack of those, all you had to do was ask like a normal person. Well, it's time to ham it up. How about that? Don't let the prosecution and the defense make a ham sandwich out of you. I think I like mine. It sounds like it's directed at the ham of a judge. Well, it certainly isn't directed at me. Well, it certainly isn't directed at me. I can outmaneuver him any day. When it's looking bad, blind your opponents with some OJ. Are they promoting violence? Don't worry, my whip will make sure that anyone following this advice won't be for long. Compared to the sting of a whip and the sting of orange juice, may not be so bad. Defender's fresh milk. What exactly is that supposed to mean? Defendant's fresh milk. I bet it means the milk is freshly milked by various defendants on trial right now. No, I think it might mean that this was milked right here from the various defendants. I mean, both of those are bad. Miles Edgeworth, you can't possibly be serious. Of course not. Stay neutral as a Swiss. Do until the end with these. The end of what? Well, I assume it means the end of the trial. I suppose this means that one should eat these during a recess. You can't eat during a trial, so I suppose the only time you can eat them is now, huh? I wouldn't mind if you wanted to eat one now. They come in packs of 2s after all. Oh, they come in packs of 2s. And they're $6, so that's $3 a piece. Which is still more expensive for one. We're in the middle of an investigation. Besides, I don't have $6 on me. If you want, we can pool over money and buy a pack together. If I have to split it with you, then I don't want it. I guess those aren't interactive. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Wonder if somebody has the gimmies. Who has the gimmies right now? Who has the gimmies right now? So the window on the other side belongs to the men's restroom. I can't see it. At your height, I'm not surprised. I guess short people have feelings too. What is this? It's a pink-colored piece of trash, maybe made of rubber. And here's a balloon. I feel like I've seen something like this before. Well, all I see is a piece of garbage. But you know, the fact that there is a litter running loose inside this courtroom, it's simply unforgivable. Ah! It's not like it was I who littered. Rubbish belongs into a rubbish bin. These ants are hard at work carrying their food home. It's a marvel that they can pick up such comparatively large objects to their size. Well, if you want to carry the mighty Von Karma name and not be squished under it, you'd better work extra hard, just like these ants. The same goes for you, Francisca. So, I kind of like how they just ignore the fact that these ants are there instead of exterminating them. The dirt on this bench, it smells like some sort of sweet substance. I can't believe there's someone going around dirtying the courthouse, for shame. Calm down, Francisca. Now take a good look. Doesn't this smudge look kind of like a handprint to you? I suppose it could be. Which means that perhaps we can lift the print of the person who soiled this bench. I see. And then we'll know the identity of our mystery cloud. You there, the lab technician. Can you please find out who this handprint belongs to? Sir, yes sir. I've got the analysis of the fingerprints analyzed, sir. And do we know who they belong to? Sir, the fingerprints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Oh, interesting. Good work, officer. Detective Gumshoe's fingerprints data jotted down in my organizer. And there you have it. Yes, I suppose so. Now we know the identity of the person who dirtied the bed. I sense that you and I will be using this information in very different ways. What are these black speckles? That would be the remnants of the Swiss roll that fell onto the floor. I believe it's a pile of ants eating away. Oh, that detective. He claims that not a single ant slipped by him. And yet, here's a whole hill of them! Yuck! What are you hitting me for? As a replacement for that pathetic detective. Perhaps I should add this deduction to the detective's growing tab of pallet pay cuts. Anyways, I wonder what the ants are eating. From the looks and smell of it, piece of cake and chocolate from a Swiss roll. Miles Edgeworth. This courthouse is to be kept pristine at all times. It wasn't me that dropped food on the ground. The courthouse must be kept clean. The ants are hard at work carrying their food home. It's a marvel that they can pick up such comparatively large objects to their size. Well, if you want to carry the mighty Von Karma name and not be squished under it, you'd better work extra hard, just like these ants. Same goes for you, Franziska. Okay. You want me to examine the cacti? Ugh. What's the matter? I pricked my finger on one of this cactus's needle. I didn't think the needles on this thing would be so sharp. Well, what did you expect? Can you imagine how bad it would be if you were hit on the head by one of these? Anyways, this cactus seems to be irrelevant to our case. Does it? Do you really think so? Because I believe this cactus sitting on this window is completely relevant. Oh, well then, I look forward to your explanation and how exactly it is relevant. Hey. All right, Di, time for your work. And you get a cookie for it. So this one is not really that hard. Vending machine and Swiss roll crumbs? Okay. We'll try that. These bits of cakes, chocolate and cake, could they not have come from a Swiss roll? A Swiss roll? Why would a courthouse sell a thing like that? It may not seem like the right venue. However, it is being sold right over there. The vending machine. Ah, I see. Stay neutral as the Swiss do until the end with these. 2 for $6. Talk about expensive. Even the fact that it's on the expensive side. The fact that the cake crumbles and chocolate bits were found in this hallway suggests that they came from a Swiss roll that was purchased from this machine. I think I have a pretty clear picture of what happened here now. Naturally, after all, I'm here, aren't I? Detective Gumshoe must have sat on this bench as he ate a Swiss roll. And as he ate, he dropped it on the floor and soiled the bench. Detective Gumshoe's footprint data updated in my organizer. How could he not clean up after himself? How utterly despicable. Don't you dare whip me again. It wasn't I who made the mess in the first place. Anyways, if it was indeed Detective Gumshoe who bought the Swiss roll, that creates a rather interesting contradiction of fact. A contradiction? Where? I think another look at the special courthouse vending machine is in order. So, we can also put two other things together. What do you think we can put together? Also, yeah, I'll let you figure it out. Well, seeing as how the cactus is not in lobby 2, this window doesn't work. This doesn't work. Which means it would have to be this. This pink rubbery substance. I saw this in a different form earlier today. I believe this is a piece of a popped balloon. I suppose that's possible. This balloon probably got a little too close to our friend, the windowsill cactus. That would be the logical conclusion, yes. Balloon piece data jotted down in my organizer. Okay. Yes, what is it? We've gathered so much information but they feel like just random fragments to me. I wonder what really happened here. Random fragments? No matter how unrelated they may seem at first, they might actually fit together somehow. I grow tired of your inner monologue. Say something! Yeah! I'm going to end up in pieces thanks to the whip before I can piece the logic together. Miles Edgeworth, that contradiction you were talking about, I demand that you show it to me at once. If Detective Gumshoe really did buy a pack of Swiss rolls for himself, that fact creates a contradiction with what I know about this case. Are you telling me that you haven't figured it out yet yourself, Ferguson? Of course I haven't figured it out! But I thought I'd let you have the glory just this once. She really doesn't like to lose, does she? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. So, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be deducing this. And then, Dai, you can probably figure out exactly what we have to deduce this. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? And it might be clear as to how the Swiss roll is relevant. Okay. I think that's it. No? Testimony, footprint or fingerprints, balloon. That's it. Well, we can't use Swiss roll on Swiss roll, so we're trying to prove how the Swiss roll that is on the floor right now came from that vending machine. That's what we're trying to figure out. So we can't exactly use the Swiss roll to help us out in this one. But there is something else that we can use. That doesn't help us with the vending machine. That doesn't prove that the Swiss roll came from this courtroom. I'll give you a hint. What do you need? What do you need to buy something from a vending machine? Exactly. So which would make sense? About Detective Gumshoe's finances, he said that until this morning, he didn't have even a single penny on his personage. Just a little. Just a little. Just how poor is that guy? If his bonus really was only $5, then he should not have been able to purchase a pack of Swiss roll. However, facts being as they are, we found cake crumbs on the floor, meaning Scruffy must have bought a pack somehow. Indeed, the detective should not have been able to purchase the pack, and yet he did. The question is, how? Swiss roll data updated in my organizer. I believe I now have a very firm grasp on what happened here. Well, I do too. Alright, Francisca. Would you care to share what conclusions you've come up to? Why should I do that? We're still in the middle of a competition, you know. We should be checking to see if your conclusions are wrong first. So, you go ahead. It's almost cute that she's going this far to ensure that she wins. Almost. Very well. But first, we need to pay His Honor a visit to correct his testimony. September 10th, 5:15 p.m., District Court Courtroom number 3. Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to test your witness testimony to see how it stands up. Do you doubt me? Am I your new suspect? In a sense, I suppose you could say that. Even you, a judge, is nothing but a common witness before a divine karma. Silence in the courtroom. Silence, I said. Mr. New Prosecutor recommended. You bit your tongue again, didn't you? As a defender of the law, I could never give false testimony. You can even place me under oath if you want. Very well then. Your testimony if you please. What I saw at recess. During the recess, I went to the restroom. There is a window on the hallway side. In other words, I could see into the hallway. As I entered, I saw that detective buying something from the vending machine. But when I was about to exit the restroom, he had completely disappeared. A detective that goes missing while on duty? That sounds mighty suspicious to me. Your Honor, can you please try to remain calm? I'm so used to simply listening to testimonies that I got caught up in my excitement. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to spoil your fun for now. Di, can you already figure out the gaps in the judge's testimony? Your Honor, Why exactly did you pay a visit to the restroom, if I may ask? Oh! Well, isn't it obvious? What else do you go to the restroom for? Maybe, I knew it. You suspect me of some sort of tomfoolery, don't you? Please, stay calm, Your Honor. This is going to be much harder than I anticipated. I'm sorry. You're right. I needed to think things through with a level head. I'm just nervous because so much has happened today with this trial. Let's see. Announce at recess that it's time for us to reconvene. But having done all that, I still wasn't able to go to the restroom right away. And why couldn't you? Mr. Faraday had been accused, so I had paperwork to process regarding a new prosecutor. Once I had finished that, I was finally able to make a mad dash to the restroom. At least he stayed consistent on that, going to the restroom, part of his testimony. Your Honor, did you really go to the men's restroom? What? What is the meaning of that statement? I simply meant that perhaps you went to a restroom on a different floor. I had to go for such a long time. It was all I could do to dash to the closest one to the courtroom. I suppose that's only natural given his circumstance. I ran from the courthouse through the floor, main lobby, and down the hallway. Once you enter, you can see there's a window just above the urinals. My question is, why put a window there where the urinals are? Now, I understand putting a window where the sinks are, but why would you put a window where the urinals are? Not really. It's not really strange that bathrooms have windows. My bathroom has a window, but I really think it's way too big for the bathroom. It really needs to be smaller. They need to put in small windows for air ventilation anyways. So it's not uncommon to have windows in bathrooms. And you would want to have some type of ventilation in the bathroom anyways. Well, with the way this window is positioned, they're not going to be seeing it anyways. But for somebody to actually stand up to a urinal and looking straight out the window, that's not what I want. I don't want to be in front of a window while I'm in front of a urinal and then having a guy on the other side staring at the other window, staring right back at me. I don't want to let him know what I'm doing. Sure, if there was a window where the sinks were, that's a different story. I wouldn't even care if somebody saw me wash my hands. Because there's many reasons why people would wash their hands. It's a sanitary thing to do. But there's no reason why there's a window above urinals. And it was through the window that you witnessed Detective Gumshoe, Your Honor. Yes, exactly! Your Honor, there is no need to yell. I can hear you just fine. Well, I think it's not video game logic. I think that's how some of the bathrooms are set up in Japan, where they have windows over urinals. But it really doesn't make sense to have window over urinal anyway. Especially, Japan also has urinals for women too, which honestly I don't think really. Why would you want to make urinals for women when they can actually just sit down and use the toilet anyway? It just doesn't make sense to make urinals for women because they sit down anyways to use the bathroom. Men, on the other case, urinals are fine because men don't have to sit down. Well, I'm sorry, it's the game. Let's. It's the game. It's the topic that the game brought up. So, yeah, you're going to experience that. Well, we don't want to go into details. That's what she's trying to say. It's not nice to go into details for topics like this, but you know, Your Honor, there is no need to yell. I can hear you just fine. Oh, I guess I put a little too much into that last answer. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. Are you sure that the person you witnessed was Detective Gumshoe, Your Honor? Yes, I'm absolutely sure. It's hard to miss someone of his stature, even from as far away as the restroom. Besides, I can't think of anyone else with that kind of haircut and big beige coat. Well, I was simply wondering if you were mistaken in what you saw. What? Preposterous! My eyes are sharp as can be, ready to see through lies to the truth. Although recently, things do seem to be a bit fuzzier than they used to be. Clearly, his eyes are not the only thing that has gone fuzzy. But allow me to say with all the honor and dignity of a judge, I am not mistaken in what I saw. He disappeared? But Your Honor, didn't you just say, I saw the detective buy something from the vending machines? Well, yes I did. The restroom windows looked over the courtyard and right into the hallway. But just as I was about to exit, I took another look and there was no one in sight. That led me to the only solution to this mystery. That detective must have gone into the crime scene, lobby number 2, at that point. So he looked into the hallway from the restroom and over to the courtyard, did he? Your Honor, I ask that you please remain calm. No. I'm perfectly calm. You're being anything but perfectly calm. It appears that His Honor could not have mistaken him what he saw. I suppose so, given his line of sight. However, Francisco, why do you suppose our lines of sight are so different? If you're referring to my height, can't you hold that whip still for a second? Now, about His Honor's testimony. I believe his line of sight to be an important factor. If it's that important, why don't you hurry up and tell him already? I will, but there is one more thing I need to do if I'm able to correct His Honor's testimony. I'm going to need to retract Detective Gumshoe's movements. Retrace. Okay. Do you know what statement it is? Next. Come on. Here. Nope. Because there is a window. Because you see the blueprint, there is a window that looks right into the hallway. Because they show the blueprint every time he talks about his testimony, remember? And he's in the bathroom, he's looking out the window. Remember that whole conversation that I was talking about? So why would they put a window over the urinals and stuff like that? And then while we were over there in the hallway, we actually seen the window that goes into the men's restroom. Well, Gumshoe did buy something. Because there's evidence in the hallway that shows it. Because there's a Swiss roll on the floor. Okay? So, he did buy something from the vending machine, but we just don't know how. Well, we may know how, but the game wants us to think that we don't know how. Now we need to figure out the evidence. Okay, that's it. Let me go through them again, okay. Okay. So what you're trying to do is to we're trying to tell the judge what would be the reason for why he would have disappeared. And there is one piece of evidence that we have to prove that. No, the money didn't show that he disappeared. It's just proof that he used the vending machine. But why did the judge think he disappeared? What's with that finger wag for, Mr. Edgeworth? And don't you know it's rude to shout objection while someone is giving testimony? A little bit. Huh. If you truly are a man of the law, then you must always be vigilant. For example, I myself never let an opportunity to shout objection pass me by. Miles Edgeworth, it's one thing to be passionate about your job, but this is real life. This is what some people may say in the pot calling the kettle black. Your Honor, I wonder if you might take a look at this for me. What is that, Phil? How dare someone dirty the hallway bench like that? Who is the culprit? The party is hereby found guilty of uncleanliness. If you must know, the bench toiler has already been placed under arrest, thanks to your earlier testimony, Your Honor. Oh? That's good. But who was it? We were able to discover something from the smudge on the bench, namely Detective Gumshoe's fingerprint. I'm not happy with committing just murder. He had to go dirty the courthouse too. Guilty! Your Honor, please calm down. While it's true that the detective is the one who made the mess on the bench, we have not yet established this action is related to the double murder. What do you mean? I believe that the detective bought a pack of Swiss rolls from the vending machine and then promptly sat down on the bench to eat one. The cake crumbles in pieces of the chocolate on the floor under the bench. And the Detective Gumshoe's fingerprint proved my conclusion to be true. Oh, but I still don't understand. Is this whole thing related to how I couldn't see him as I was leaving the restroom? It is indeed. The window in the hallway was built rather up high into the hallway, at around a grown adult's chest height. As evidence, I submit that Franziska herself was unable to see out of that window. She should not be mad over that one because that is actually what happened. That I wish they would fix in the remake, because that delay should not happen. I knew I shouldn't use her height as an evidence. So basically, what this means is that the area directly under the hallway window is a blind spot when the hallway is being viewed from the men's restroom. Then, it seems that you have made this connection. If someone were to sit on the bench under the window, yes, even someone as large as Detective Gumshoe, would effectively disappear from sight. What? Do you finally see, Your Honor? Your testimony has just proven that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway the entire time. Sorry. I didn't mean to say it with that much enthusiasm. All I wanted to do was try to say it once. Here, let me try that again. Hold it. Is there something of value that you'd like to say? Yes, actually, there is. I remember something else just now. Mr. Edgeworth, please allow me to testify to the court one more time. Even if we overrule him, he'd just keep on talking, wouldn't he? That might not be a bad thing. The more information, the better in a perfect investigation, right? What I saw, part 2. I suppose it's possible you can't see a seated person from the restaurant window. However, that doesn't mean that the detective was sitting there when I looked. Anyways, I forgot to testify earlier about probably the most important detail. As I was leaving the restroom, I heard that loud bang of a gunshot. Well, we know this one. Gurk! How was that? That is the testimony of one who judges the crimes of others. Your Honor, could you try to state that important fact first next time? I agree. Before you go around judging others, you should learn to judge your own words. Eek! I'm sorry. I'll give you the gavel then. But honestly, I thought that sound was just a noise popper until just now. Now that he mentioned it, right before we restarted the trial, he did talk about that. Oh, by the way, was there someone celebrating a birthday during the recess? I could have sworn that I heard a popper going off. Come to think of it, the other day with my grandson. The most critical point in this argument is, when did the judge look into the hallway, and whether that lines up with when the gun was actually fired. Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to clarify a few details in your testimony. These voices are starting to kill my throat. Hold it! In that case, do you concede that you were overconfident in the last testimony? No, hold on now. I just said that it's possible you can't see a seated person from the restroom this time. But you know something? I don't think you know when the prints you're referring to were left on that bench, do you? While you have proven that it's possible that Detective Gumshoe was sitting, I still have a problem with just when those fingerprints were left. He's right, I have yet to prove when the fingerprints were left on that bench. While his friend's ignorance, his honor has seen a lot of his life. This judge mustn't underestimate him. As we established, you went to the restroom during the recess. However, at what point in the recess did you look into the hallway? After I called for a recess, I handled the change across the computer field. Maybe about 20 minutes until we were convened? Yes, that sounds about right. Just as I expected. What were you expecting? And I demand to know what that all-knowing smile is for. Your Honor, that statement you made just now is very important. I'd like for you to append it to your testimony. All right, if you insist. Let's see. I looked into the hallway about 20 minutes before we were to reconvene.
Hold
it! 20 minutes before we reconvene? Very well. What did you do after that? Let's see, I had to make some preparation, so I rushed straight back to the court. I also had to track down a few pieces of paper for the various bailiffs. So you rushed back to the courtroom despite having just heard a gunshot? Well, at the time, I thought it was just the sound of a noise box. I really couldn't think of any other explanation than someone having adversity. But now that this has happened, I see. Thinking back, this judge did mention something to the effect when we reconvened. If it's something that's forgettable, I don't need to hear it. All I did was forget to mention it. That sort of excuse may work on other people, but not on Divine Karma. But it's such an important piece of testimony. Please give me a chance to present it. I suppose I have no choice in the matter. Your Honor, about what you just said. I know, I couldn't believe myself. Bang! Like that, yeah. Just like that, with a quick Your Honor, please remain calm when you're trying to explain yourself to me. Oh, yes, sir. Sorry about that. Now then, I must gather myself, yes. When I heard the gunshot, there was no one in the hall. I should know. I looked. There was no one there. Judge emotion. emotion circuits appear to be stuck on overreact. I believe that we finally found the flaw in his Honor's testimony. Yet sadly he's completely oblivious to it. But I guess I can't really expect him to be aware of it. Well, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and fill him in. At least that thing finally came in handy. Indeed. Now let's see what happens when I present it to his Honor. You sure already know what the statement is for this one, Di. It's not going to be the last one. Not going to be the last one. The last one states, as I was leaving the restroom, I heard the loud bang of a gunshot. So, you cannot disprove that he did not hear that. So, we cannot use anything against that. So, there is one we can. And this is the new one that he had to add to his testimony. You forgot that this one was added, didn't you? That one, that's the new piece of testimony. So there's, if you think about it, think about which one will contradict this statement. Okay, there's all of them. Did you see the one evidence? Okay. Did you see it yet?
Objection!
Your Honor, I cannot allow you to make an objection. What? Your Honor, I'm really sorry, but I cannot allow you to not allow me to make an objection. Good! I've been overruled! Your Honor, there are simply too many holes in your testimony for my taste. What do you mean by that? You claim that you heard the gunshot during the recess, but that is simply not possible. Mr. New Prosecutor recommended by my friend Von Karma. Ack! Instead of biting your tongue, I see you have no mercy for the elderly either, Franziska. Don't talk back to me unless you want to be whipped in the back. With your height, you'd need a stepladder or 4 to accommodate that. Mr. Edgeworth, my ears are not that far gone yet. I'll have you know, I can still hear you just fine. And I heard the sound of a gunshot loud and clear with my own 2 ears. Your Honor, I have here an interesting bit of testimony. It's from Detective Bad, and according to him, he heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to start again. What did you just say? Your Honor, you just said that you heard the gunshot about 20 minutes before we were to reconvene. How do you explain this glaring contradiction? I can't breathe! Unfortunately, that is the truth. But I heard it clear as day. Bang! The loud sound of a gunshot. Sound of the gunshot. We keep returning to this point of connection, and that piece of evidence, I always did wonder why I found it where I did. However, now I understand what the gunshot the judge heard really was. Unfortunately, Your Honor, this is what really produced the gunshot you heard. You know what it is, Di? That's all of them.
Take that!
I found this object in the hallway earlier. What is that piece of toast? I may not look it, but this is actually a piece of a balloon. I see. I suppose you would like me to accept that pink balloon into the court record? Your Honor, I present this piece of evidence in order to overrule your testimony. What? Your Honor, your argument goes as follows. You saw no one in the hallway when you heard the gunshot. Now, this is no guarantee that the detective was sitting on the bench at the time. Therefore, you believe he must have been at the crime scene, defendant lobby number 2. Am I correct? Yes, that's exactly right. Let me ask you something. Do you think that the gunshot you heard was produced by a real gun? I think I've said enough that even you can figure the rest of this out on your own. Your Honor, you were fooled by the popping of the balloon into thinking it was a gunshot. Ooh, what manner of trickery is this? That was a good effort you put forth, Miles Edgeworth. But if it was me, I'd have wrapped this thing up before the judge even testified. Care to elaborate on how one ends something before it even begins? Well, to be honest, I did think that this sound was a bit off from a real gunshot sound. But who could have guessed that someone would pop a balloon in a place like this? That's true. One doesn't usually think balloons in conjunction with the courthouse. I might have traded the coins with you. That's it? The balloon the girl was holding. It explains everything. Your Honor, if it makes you feel any better, you didn't lie once in your testimony. However, I can't really vouch for its accuracy. Who knew that giving testimony could be such a difficult thing to do? What am I doing? I owe Detective Gumshoe a very, very big apology. I must see to it myself that he is convinced. Wait. There are still a few things I have yet to resolve about what had happened in the hallway. Your Honor, I request your permission to further question Detective Gumshoe. But why? I thought we just cleared his name. Whether we did just now or not, I still cannot say. The only thing I can do for now is to continue in my quest for the perfect explanation. And to the end, I must resolve the remaining issues pertaining to the events that occurred in the hallway. Very well, bailiff. Please bring Detective Gumshoe into the courtroom. I must fulfill my mission and find the perfect explanation to this case. September 10th, District Court, courtroom number 3. What is it now? Is it time for my trial already? I've already told you a gazillion times, pal, I didn't do it. I believe the judge. I'll be the judge of that, Detective Gumshoe. No, you won't. I'll be the judge of that. No. I'm the judge around here, and I'll be the judge of that. Why can't you guys be a little less judgmental? Yes, well, speaking of hastily judgment, Detective Gumshoe, I must apologize for an error in judgment on my part. Your Honor, I don't believe you should apologize just yet. We have yet to prove he is completely innocent of his crime. I guess so. What are you guys talking about? In any case, I would like you to testify as to your actions while you were on guard duty. And please remember, you are not on trial. This is all just a part of the investigation. As such, you may still be found to be innocent. However, if you should give false testimony... Yow! My whip will object loud and clear. If you are found to be lying, you will be held indefinitely. Understood? Gotcha, pal. Thinking back on the state of the crime scene and the judge's testimony, it's obvious that Detective Gumshoe is lying. Is he lying? That's the whole thing. Is he really lying? Or is he 100% telling the truth? And if I can't break his lie, then we may never get a break in this case. Well, I was on duty. I came down here to this courthouse on Detective Bad's order. As soon as I got here, he ordered me to stand guard in front of lobby number 2. From that time on until I heard the gunshot, I was in the hallway the whole time. On my honor as a detective, I swear it wasn't me, pal. He's still singing that same tired tune. In that case, I'll just have to change the melody. I know he's lying, and it's time I pulled the information I need out of him. Oh, don't unplug on me. So, was it really Detective Bad who called you down here? You bet it was, pal. I was left in charge of the precinct while everyone else was out. And this call comes in. I want you down here in 1 minute flat, he said. Well, I thought that was my big chance, my first case, so I made a mad dash down here. Although I couldn't exactly get here in a minute flat. So how long did it take you? About 10 minutes, I guess. And what was Detective Bad doing when you finally made it? He was waiting for me down on the first floor in the entranceway, pal. We got a new follower on Twitch.
Hold it!
And by he, you mean Detective Bad, of course. And this being my first time at this courthouse. He also walked with me up to the 3rd floor hallway in front of the defendant lobby. And did you meet anyone along the way? Well, as soon as we entered the hallway, we ran into Miss Yu. When he heard from Miss Yu that Mr. Faraday was not to be interrupted, that's when Detective Bad told me to stand guard in the hallway, pal. So far, Detective Gumshoe's testimony is matching up with Detective Bad's. You claim to have been in the hallway the whole time. However, it is not a fact that you did something while you were in that hallway. Of course I did something. I guarded the door to the lobby number 2, pal. What else? Very well then. What exactly does guarding the door entail? Well, to put it simply... Oh, I know. It was my job to stand in front of the door without moving an inch. Oh? Detective Gumshoe, you mean to tell me that you didn't take a single step away from the door to lobby number 2? Is that really what you wish to testify to the effort of? You got it, pal. I didn't take a single step away from that door, just like I was ordered not to. Okay, so Gumshoe is lying there. We know that. Why is everyone so quiet all of a sudden? Because we are all in shock and awed of your utter stupidity. Guppy, if you're going to lie, at least tell us a more believable one. Yow! But I'm not lying. I should hurry up and bring this insipid testimony to a close. Until I heard the gunshot, I didn't take a single step away from the lobby number 2 door.
Hold it!
I'm only going to ask you one more time, Detective Gumshoe. Are you sure you stood in front of the door to lobby number 2 the entire time? Yep. That's what I was told by Detective Bad. I stood guard in front of that door without a single break. So believe me when I say that I was in the hallway the whole time already, pal. Why did everyone go quiet all of a sudden again? Apparently someone has a bit of trouble reading between the lines. What's that supposed to mean? I don't. Be quiet. Youch! I should hurry up and bring this insipid testimony to a close. Would you also be willing to swear that there was no one else in the hall besides you? Ooh, what are you talking about? I just swore to you that I was doing my job, pal. Oh, and then what are you acting so nervous for? What? I'm not nervous at all, pal. Anyways, not a single person other than myself was in that hall the whole time. I should just let it go. Pursuing this train of thought at this time would just be a waste of time. To have such a foolishly foolish contradiction in such a foolishly foolish testimony is just plain old foolish. Indeed. However, in the pursuit of the perfect investigation, I'm afraid we have to deal with it by squishing it under the weight of the evidence. Alright, what's the statement? That should be it. So, there are 2 pieces of evidence that you can actually use on this one. I have an objection. What is it, pal? Detective Gumshoe? I wonder if you might recognize this from somewhere. Hey, it's one of those things. The courtroom special switch rolls, right, pal? Precisely. In that case, I suppose that you also recall soiled hallway bench. Hey! You know what? I think it was probably me that did that. Detective Gumshoe, you know you can't go around dirtying up the courthouse like this. You inconsiderate solvently pig. Yank! I promise to clean up later, I swear. Now then, shall we get down to business? About the fact that you didn't move even a single step from in front of the door? If that really were the case, then how were you able to buy a pack of Swiss rolls? Furthermore, if you didn't move a single step from in front of that door, how did you manage to get the bench dirty with your grubby hands? Ouch! It appears that Franziska's whip can do more damage than my words alone can. Alright, I confess, pal. I was hungry, so I bought a pack for myself, okay? I thought I'd get chewed out again if anyone found out about me eating on the job. So I didn't want to say anything. Well, unfortunately to you, I saw you do the whole dastardly deed. I clearly saw you buying a pack of Swiss rolls from the vending machine. Okay, I'm sorry for lying. But that's all I'm sorry for, you got that? Because I'm not holding anything else back. That last statement may sound like it makes sense. However, there is something I don't quite believe about it. Are you sure you're not withholding further information from us? Of course not. I've got nothing else to hide, pal. Oh. If only that were true, Detective Gumshoe. But it is true, pal. I swear there's nothing else. Detective Gumshoe, I'm sure you are aware of this piece of pack of Swiss rolls, correct? Remind me again, pal? That vending machine out in the hallway is selling packs of 2 Swiss rolls for $6 a pack. And yet, according to you, you didn't have any cash on you until you cashed your $5 annual bonus check. Isn't that right? Let me ask then, how did you manage to purchase the pack all by yourself? Can you provide me with a proper explanation to that? I told you I bought it by myself, pal. There wasn't anyone else in the hallway with me. So there's no one who could have helped me buy it. Wait, don't tell me. You've got some kind of proof that there was someone else in the hallway, don't you? Correct. As if you could. I mean, what are the chances of that? Wait, you do? Of course I do. What? Ow! What proof do I have that there must have been someone else there in the hallway? Hey, you showed that to me not 2 seconds ago, pal. I think you're under the mistaken impression that I bought this pack of rolls. Wait, you didn't buy it? Then that means you must have stolen it, you thief. What? I would never do such a thing. All you liars are the same. You started out as thieves. You're under arrest, pal. I believe you meant to assert that all thieves start out as liars. In that case, what does that say about you, detective? Grr! This particular Swiss roll was dropped by a certain someone. Oh. There were 2 rolls in this package. You ate one of them, but you then gave the other one to a certain other person, didn't you? No way, pal! You got it all wrong. I ate both of them. It would appear that we've caught you at last. Hey, don't you dare do anything bad to that girl. It would appear that they do know each other after all. So, why do you continue to come up to me and kick me? Have I wronged you somehow? I have a name and it's K. K what? K Faraday. Faraday? Are you perhaps Mr. Faraday's daughter? I'm not a you, I'm K. K. No, good little girls don't kick other people. Especially not hard enough to leave big, nasty bruises like the one you did. Well, then you shouldn't have put Gummy under arrest, mister. Gummy? My guess is that she's talking about Detective Gumshoe. What a cute nickname you given him. Gummy didn't do anything wrong! Okay. It appears that I will need to speak with her in a bit more detail. Rawr! Now then, Kay. Kiss! She's like a stray cat. I wonder if I should feed her or something. What do you want to feed the kitty, Di? You want to feed her a Swiss roll, okay.
Take that!
Okay, I promise to give this to you if you calm down. Oh, a Swiss roll! It really belongs to you though, doesn't it? Yeah, I was saving it for Daddy. Oh my! Your father? He's... don't you say another word, pal! She doesn't know yet! Thanks for watching out for me, Gummy. But I already know about Daddy. I overheard the guards talking about Daddy's. He's not here anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't protect him. Okay. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. It's alright. Let it all out. Your father just passed away after all. I myself was also involved in a case at this courthouse when I was a young child. A case in which my father, who was a defense attorney, passed away. All my dreams of becoming a lawyer was crushed into a fine ash on that nightmarish day. Even now, the wound festers deep in the depths of my soul. Ever since that incident, I've dedicated myself to locking away every criminal I can. And now, have this happen right in front of me? This child. I feel a certain shared fate, a common bond between us. Miles Edgeworth, what sort of gentleman are you? Are you going to just stand there and watch a lady cry? Ah, you're right. Sorry about that. Okay. Here. How about we use this handkerchief here and dry your little tears? No, my cravat! Don't blow your nose on that! I feel better now. Thanks. It looks like the girl has finally calmed down. Yes, I believe I can take my time and talk with her now. It's so disrespectful for a child like that to be running around inside the courthouse. Does no one have respect for the country's judicial system anymore? Didn't Mr. Von Kama say that exact same thing earlier? But Franziska, I don't think you two are that far apart in terms of age. I'm about to become a prostitute, so understand that I'm nothing like this little girl. Okay, are you going to be alright? Yep, I'm already alright. Somehow I hardly felt that, but I'm not going to push it. I promised Daddy I'd never cry in front of strangers. You're a good kid, aren't you, Kay? You always keep your promises, right? That's right. Even if I can't see Daddy anymore, I'm still going to keep all my promises. You're a very brave girl, Kay. You're a very good child for keeping the promise you made to your papa. I'll even testify that you didn't cry just for you. Thank you very much, lady. It's nothing. I'm only telling the truth after all. It appeared that because her father was a respected prosecutor, Franziska is sympathetic to Kay's feelings. Okay, what kind of person was your father? Daddy was a hero of justice. His job was to catch all the bad people in the world. So to you, a prosecutor is a hero of justice, huh? I suppose we are in a sense, as we are the ones who seek guilty verdicts for criminals. But you know what? Whenever I came to the courthouse, Daddy would buy me my absolute favorite treat, Swiss rolls! Oh? I want to be a hero of justice someday, just like Daddy. So I've been working really hard. I see. And what have you been working hard on? I've been working hard to keep all of the promises Daddy and I made together. Promise notebook? May I take a look at that case? Sure, okay. It appears to be an exchange diary of sorts between father and daughter. Mr. Faraday's writing conveys a sense of the kind of man he was. This little notebook just might come in handy later. Promise notebook Dad had jotted down in my organizer. Thank you for showing it to me, Kay. Let's take a look at the promise notebook. Let's see. Kay's promise to Daddy. Promise 1, never take things from strangers. Promise 2, never go anywhere with a stranger. I feel like she's already broken promise 1 and promise 2. Promise 3, always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Well, she's done that, so she's kept that promise. Promise 4, never cry in front of strangers. Well, she broke that promise. She did. Promise 5, always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. Well, I think she's doing a really good job of that. Daddy's job is to make sure that everyone follows the rules. Okay? Be a good girl and promise that you'll keep your promises to me, okay? Okay. I hope you'll continue to work hard and become a hero of justice like your father. I'm gonna try. Hey, Kay, so I'm a detective that catches the bad people, right? That makes me a hero too? Yeah, you're really cool too, Gummy. Yeah, aren't I, Kay? What is with the two of them? Well, I hand down verdicts of justice, so that makes me a hero too? Yes, and thanks to your oh-so-heroic testimony. You almost painted the detective as a vile criminal and sent him off to jail. I'm really sorry about that. Gummy is not a bad man, okay? That poor judge, he's being treated like a vile criminal rather than a hero of justice. It appears that you and Detective Gumshoe are really good friends, Kay. Yeah, we're friends. In that case, would you mind telling me a little more about him? So, I take it that you ran into Detective Gumshoe earlier? Yep. I was on my way to see Daddy when I saw Gummy standing there. He was standing in the hallway staring really hard at the vending machine, so I said hi. And when was this? Before everything got crazy. How long were the two of you together? Well, we only talked for a little while, and then we went on our own way. Well, that's right, pal. Kay and I only talked for a little while, and that's it. Oh, which means we have now confirmed that Kay was in the hallway during the recess, isn't that right? You got me. I told you to stop picking on Gummy, mister. Very well, then. I'll just have to speak with the good detective in private later. Were you the one who bought this pack of Swiss roll, Kay? Well, I didn't really have a lot of money. And I somehow made $1 out of all the pennies and quarters I had. But that still wasn't enough, and I really, really wanted one. To think of it. You did come and ask me to exchange a handful of change for $1. And that's when you came and asked me to change your money, correct? Yeah, thanks so much for doing that, mister. Sure. But let me ask you, even with that $1, you still couldn't have enough, correct? Well, that's why... Hey, if you bully Kay anymore, I'm going to have to arrest you, pal. Need I remind you that you're the one already under arrest? Yow! I sense that Kay is going to be less than forthcoming with this question. Oh, sorry, Kay, about your roughly thing. Yes, well, now that it's positively drenched in your nostril mucus, don't worry, Kay, I have a spare. So here, you can have this one. But Daddy said never take things from strangers. That's one of the promises you made in your promise notebook, correct? Yeah, let's see, it's right here on this page. Alright then, I'm not giving this to you. I'm merely allowing you to borrow it. You can take it home and wash it nice and clean and then give it back to me when next time we meet. Okay. Daddy never said I couldn't borrow things from strangers. Now then, Detective Gumshoe? I believe it is now crystal clear that you were with the little K in that hallway. Yeah, I told you to stop being mean to Gummy! Miles Edgeworth, there is still something you have yet to resolve. Beg your pardon? You still haven't offered an explanation of why the man would lie to us. Well... Gummy, don't tell me you lied for my sake! Hey, don't worry about it, Kay. Everything's gonna be okay. Oh, so that's why. So what was Detective Gumshoe's motive for lying? If you can't explain that, then you can't call this a perfect investigation. His reason for lying is very simple. What? Here is what I believe to be his reason. From simple observation of the detective's action and his interactions with Kay, it's obvious the detective was lying for the young girl's sake. And this piece of evidence will show you exactly why. Which piece of evidence proves that Detective Gumshoe was lying on account of Kay? Well, this one should be very easy, guys. This should be very easy to figure out. No, the balloon is not going to help us anymore. Yeah, this balloon is not going to help us anymore. But there is one thing that will help us. No, it's not going to be the money. It's not going to be the money. Because that only shows that Gumshoe cashed in his check. Well, I don't really have to go through them all. It's on this page. You should be able to see it. No, it's not going to be the Swiss roll. That's not going to help us. That's not going to help us. Give you a hint, it's something new that we added to the list of evidence. Just a bit. It's something very brand new. The promise notebook, right?
Take that!
Mr. Faraday and Kay's promise notebook? How does this explain everything? If you could take a look at this page, it's clearly written that Kay should never take things from a stranger. When Detective Gumshoe heard about this promise, he tried to cover for Kay. What a foolish fool's fool of a foolish reason for a fool. But it makes sense. But it makes sense why he would do that. Because he didn't want Kay to get in trouble. Yow! Tommy, you lied because of me, didn't you? Because of your friend, Kay, that's why. Gummy! At long last, Detective Gumshoe. Can you please tell me the whole truth now? I guess there's no beating you, huh, Bill? Okay, I'll spill the goods. I've been standing guard for a while. I was getting really hungry, and that snack vending machine was taunting me. You ever get that feeling, Di? You're at like shopping with your mom, and you step in front of a vending machine, and you didn't have any money, and you were like a little peckish, and you were staring at the vending machine, and like saying, "Mom, can I have something from this vending machine?" But all the cash you had on you was $5, and that wasn't enough to buy anything, right? After all, the cheapest item in the machine is a $6 pack of Swiss rolls. Yeah, but then, like an angel from heaven, Kay showed up. I was thinking about sharing a snack with Daddy. I wanted to buy a Swiss roll. I only had about $1 in coins. So we pooled my $5 and her $1 together. Bought a pack of Swiss rolls together. I was worried about breaking one of my promises. So then Gummy said, Mr. Faraday's one scary guy when he gets mad. But don't worry, you won't get in trouble if I don't tell, right? Besides, you bought it with me. So you didn't really get it from me, you know. He told me it'd be okay. And he gave me a whole roll to save and give to Daddy. Who knew that Scruffy could be so considerate? Indeed. Detective, I take it that you then sat down on the bench and ate the roll together? Yeah, we split the other roll and ate it right then. I'll never forget it as long as I live, pal. Anyway. Hey, I believe this also belongs to you. Oh, that's from the balloon I popped. It's bad manners to leave garbage lying around, Kay. I'm sorry. Well, I guess I can't blame you for not throwing this one piece away. It was sitting high up on a windowsill where you couldn't see it. So just this once, I'll forgive you. But the balloon, I wanted to surprise Gummy a little, so I popped it on purpose. And because of me, Gummy dropped his half of the Swiss roll. Wow, you really got me there, pal. So I thought maybe I could give Gummy this other roll. And then I saw you kicking on Gummy, mister. So you kicked me? Is that it? You sure a feisty one. Really sorry, mister. It's alright, I'm perfectly unharmed. What about the Swiss roll? Would it be alright with you if I held onto it until Detective Gumshoe is cleared of all charges and free to go? Yeah, sure! Just make sure you give it to Gummy afterwards, okay? Of course, I promise. Now then, I believe we have proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway for the entire duration of his duty, which undeniably proves that Detective Gumshoe could not have committed the double murders.
Objection!
Actually, it proves just the opposite, Edgeworth. You've just shown how. That Detective Gumshoe is the only one who could have committed the crime. What do you mean? It's quite rude to eavesdrop, Miss Yu. I'm getting lectured on manners by a girl with a penchant for whipping people. What? How dare you talk back with such insolence? You're wrong, lady. Gummy's not the bad guy. Oh, and what have we here? What is a child doing here in the courthouse? Bailiff, please take this child in. What? Miss Callisto, you? That girl is Mr. Fairdays. I know. So what? You think that just because she's the victim's daughter, she gets to just run wild all around this crime scene? I think it's actually quite dangerous for her to speak nothing of getting underfoot. I suppose you're right. However, as long as we're in the agreement on that point, let's get back to the real issue at hand. Now then, Detective, you were in front of the door to lobby number 2 the entire time, correct? Yeah, but... You see, isn't it obvious that it could only be the detective? He is the only person who could have gone into lobby number 2 at the time of the murder. I have no counter-argument to that. Don't worry, I've already put in the necessary paperwork for his formal arrest. But the investigation's far from over. Oh, that's right. I was going to speak to you about that. Don't you think it's reckless to talk to the suspect out in the open without a guard? I suppose it is. Well, as someone with more experience in law than you, allow me to share something. Always keep a good eye on a criminal, or you may regret what comes of your negligence. Ooh, Miles, I can't believe you're letting this woman lecture you like this. This is unforgivable as a disciple of Von Karma. Down, Tigress. Now then, I'll be looking forward to the results of your investigation. So, we're back to square one. Actually, this is our last chance. I can tell that if we fail to solve the case, Detective Gumshoe will be formally charged under all the circumstantial evidence. This investigation is not over yet. There's still one location we have yet to inspect. It's where Detective Bad and Miss Yu were at the time of the crime, lobby number 1. Okay, that's going to take us to the end of the stream here. Okay. So we will go to the last scene. Apparently our intro and ending videos are missing for whatever reason. So we're going to have to fix that. Anyways, do we have any questions, concerns, criticism? So we have 2 more parts left. Depending on how short or long they are, they will either be done in 2 separate days, or we're going to finish it all up next week. So, and then after that, we will run into the last and final case of a really needed thing to pass. We'll be going on to the last and final case of Miles Edgeworth's investigation. They already have the logo out for prosecutors Gambit. So I'm not entirely sure how you're gonna work the thumbnail out for the next one, guys. I think Sarah gave you some things, but we can't use the prosecutor's path thumbnail, the prosecutor's path name, because the next one that we're going to be doing is Prosecutor's Gambit, which is from the Ace Attorney Investigation Collection. Pre-orders are actually happening now. So, and apparently if you pre-order now, you get bonus tracks from the Prosecutor Gambit game. So, apparently you lose all of that if you don't pre-order the game. Unless they present it available as DLC later. Other than that, if you pre-order it, that's your free gift. But this is going to be the end of this stream. We'll continue tomorrow. And yeah, let's hope next time we can clear Gumshoe from his charges so we can find out who the actual criminal is. With that said and done, let's go figure out who we can raid. Go and take a look at who we got available to trade. Alright, it looks like we will be raiding Bradley. So, and he's playing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection, the Cowabunga collection. So that's where we're going to be going for tonight. Drop him a like. Subscribe if you haven't. And we'll be up for tonight. Thank you for all the lurkers. Thank you for the people that's in the chat, moderators. Thank you for your dedicated support. I appreciate everything you guys do for this channel. And that'll be it for me. Take care.